wake up at 5:30, get in the shower, do my morning routine, and go around 7 o'clock to come to work. I am so excited to go to work, so I do a dance off in the parking lot. It's a dance of magic. We serve breakfast, lunch, and hugs. The hugs are the best part. I am Tim Harris, and this is my place. Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome to my place. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh. Those are the best part, buddy. I love you. Have you been here before?
No, I've never been here before.
Well, I'm Tim. I'm the owner. Tim's place is the special place to be at because it's run and operated by me. You guys are doing a great job back here. I love you guys. You guys are the best cooks ever. Since I was a kid, I wanted to own a restaurant, and I asked my dad to help me out. I'm very glad I did. Thank you, Dad. I love you so much.
I love you too, buddy. I'm very proud of you.
When he was about 14 years old, he told us that someday he was going to own a restaurant. After we all gulped and gasped, we began to take him seriously, and the result is history in the making.
They supported me so I can live up my dreams.
I'm amazingly proud of my brother. Just what he's accomplished in his lifetime. I mean, people can only dream, you know?
I love you, Mom.
Too, honey.
As far as we know, we have not yet found another person with Down syndrome in this country that owns their own restaurant. We hope that other people will, though.
My favorite part of all is the people coming through that front door. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Sometimes customers get sad. I give them a hug and then they feel a lot better.
Oh, thank you, Tim.
The hugs are way more important than the food. The food is food, so. How about a double hug?
Yep, double hug.
Love you guys. I am a mean hugging machine. Oh yeah.
So let me get this straight. So
Yeah.
you're a restaurateur
Yes.
and
A Special Olympic
Special
athlete.
Olympic athlete, and you won a gold medal.
I have won more medals than Michael Phelps. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I did not let my disability crush the dreams. With people with disabilities, they can do anything they set their minds to. We're special. We are a gift to the world.
Welcome back to marketing and hospitality, tourism, leisure, recreation, everything. And we are in chapter 3, the foundation of exceptional customer service.
What? Did they break your teeth? Let's see. You want some of these now? I got you a
Once I get that crushed down, I'm keeping it. It's just all part of the experience because it's what happened in the classroom too. So welcome back. And I can't begin to tell you how much I love that 3-minute video from Tim's Place because it speaks to everything we're talking about in marketing in our industry. One is he's creating an exceptional experience because his why is incredibly solid. He is doing it to make a difference on people. The food is food. Did you catch that quote? That is an awesome quote, and it's true. There are a million restaurants out there, but he is doing something uniquely special that matches his values and beliefs, and he's delivering that and position that in a way that gives him truly a competitive advantage. But it's also not just the external guest. If you noticed what he said to his employees, that line in that moment when he's talking to his cooks and telling them that they're the best cooks in the whole world and that he's just really thankful for them, that is the moment that for me is the incredible difference. I might see front of the house people rising to that level, but I seldom see organizations that get that it's multiple stakeholder groups, and he does that. So I can't think of a better 3 minutes to kick off this chapter about quality because he does it in a way that is enviable in our industry, and his passion and his values and his beliefs are delivered every day in the way he set up his operation to deliver high quality. So welcome to Quality Service, and if nothing else today, take those 3 minutes with you forever and think about again how we deliver what we do. Have you done a happy dance to work or to your internship this week? I venture to say we forgot to have a happy dance, and we should, because how lucky are we that we get to be in this industry, and how lucky are we that we are studying it. So quality of service we define, as earlier mentioned, as simply 3 words: exceeding guest expectations. And it's fascinating to me in my career of in this industry, which has been my entire life since I was 14 years old. It's the only industry really I've worked in. And it fascinates me, this topic, because it's the one area on your pre-survey for this class you indicated you have a lot of knowledge and skill. And you do, because if you've worked in our industry and you've thought about it, everybody talks about this. And it's maybe an area that you've even been trained on in the businesses you've worked in, which I certainly hope has happened. But what's fascinating about it is we're not great at it yet. You know, just today, or it was yesterday actually, because it's early morning, but just yesterday, I had an encounter with a service provider in our industry that was incredibly poor. I was returning an item, and needless to say, I left with the item still in my hand, and I will never go back there again. And I had already talked about this chapter once. This is now my second time, I know, but you didn't get to hear it. So when I have been embedded in this chapter, you know, I'm always embedded in this chapter, but I certainly was as I've been thinking about it more this week. And it fascinated me what had happened, you know, and I really tried to dissect this experience, and I asked you to do the same. You know, take a look at the last poor customer service experience you had, and what was the problem? And why is this so difficult? For me, it came down to not only the delivery of the person handling the situation. It was much bigger, because it was really about the owner or the manager of that organization that has taught that employee that that's okay. It has set policies that are ambiguous and good for one customer but not another kind of situation. So there were so many multifaceted reasons why this dissatisfaction and my expectations were certainly not exceeded. They were not even met. So when we think about quality of service, our goal is to exceed our guests' expectations, exceed our volunteers' expectations, exceed every stakeholder group we serve, our employees, our stakeholders, everyone engaged with us. And the reason we want to do that is because our why is solid, the experience we're trying to deliver is exceptionally different, and this is our chance to deliver it. So we exceed expectations, and it gives us a competitive advantage. This is the base of all great marketing. Said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll say it 50 more times this semester. Because simply, if our operation is not delivering great quality, it makes the marketing communications job near impossible. I could buy $1 million in billboards, and if we aren't treating all of those stakeholder groups and aiming to exceed their expectations, if we're not doing that right, it makes my $1 million of billboards impossible to be acted upon. Because the power of word of mouth, as we've already mentioned too, is more believable and more powerful than any other form of communication. So when your friend tells you not to go to this resort because they had a bad experience, I don't care. You see all my marketing communication and my beautiful website and everything else I deliver, and the card you got in the mail and the email you got and the freebie even you got. When your friend told you not to because it was really poor experience, you are not going to risk it. So our goal in this chapter is to understand how operationally delivering service is critical in marketing. And again, chapter 3, all about the whole organization. This isn't about me, the marketer. This is about every person in our organization and the power each of us has to make experience for someone in our organization, externally or internally, of value. Common comments or common statement in our field is also this concept of moments of truth, and I'm more than likely sure you've heard that before. But that's how we really measure how we're doing in terms of delivery toward those expectations. Guest expectations are here. We deliver moments of truth, and we see, and the guest is always reflecting, or the volunteer or the employee, how we did with that. So it's that instance at which you have a chance to leave a lasting impression. And it's everything that we do in an organization. Every instance. It might not be a human instance. It may be the fact that you walked into a restroom and it was incredibly dirty. It may have no direct contact with a human, but it's completely your cleanliness standards and the impression that I got from that moment I walked in, or the moment a light doesn't work in your guest room. And that moment of truth triggers another moment of truth, or a chance that we can overcome that and redo that. So moments of truth are incredibly powerful, and there's several concepts about quality that I want to again share with you, related to things I want you to think about in this chapter. And those thoughts relate to every time we deliver a moment of truth, one of three things happens to a guest or a volunteer, etc. A really positive experience, a really negative experience, or a neutral experience. Now, we know if you have a really positive experience, you're going to tell 3 other people who tell others who tell others. So we know we'll take that kind of positive momentum in action way before a negative experience. Because if you have a super negative experience, you're going to tell 10 other people who tell 10, 10, 10. Again, taking out the social media, taking out that power. This is just verbally, personally telling people. Again, incredibly believable when you tell me something versus a little less believable if it's a generic statement online, even less believable if it's someone's billboard trying to get me to come there. So those 3 powerful interactions, it's going to happen one of 3 things. If it's a neutral experience, you're not telling anybody, but you also even forgot about the experience. So it didn't impact you either way, but it's gone, because we have thousands and thousands of moments of truth moments every day. And what's fascinating about them is I'm concerned about the ones you have with me as an organization. My restaurant, food service operation, my rec center, my resort, my attraction, my airline, whatever that is. I want to isolate and think about all of those kinds of encounters and how we manage those. And Malcolm Baldrige is our nation's quality award, and we have links to that in our Blackboard site. And to me, that is a place where we can learn about these moments of truth and better. So Malcolm Baldrige Award, our national nation's quality award, it's been around since the 1980s. It actually gives awards to several types of organizations: manufacturing, small business, medical, should I say small business? Small business, medical, school systems, and service organizations. And over the years that has grown. It used to just be 3 basic types of organizations, and it has added kind of distinct niches. But it's fascinating to me in the service industry category, which would be we would either be in small business or service. In the service category, that only one organization in our entire umbrella field has ever won a Malcolm Baldrige Award, meaning they got the stamp of approval by the nation saying you are a quality-driven organization. You embody what we would hope every organization would do and think like, and you have all of these practices across 7 areas we've measured you, from leadership and human resources. Again, I'm concerned about the employee. Human resources, market analysis, business operations, financial success, or financial analysis kinds of things. So 7 categories that we want you to evaluate, to share with us what you do, and learn about your best practices. And then if you're worthy, we're going to give you this award. So we've certainly have other people in our field apply for an award, but only one has won it, and they've won it twice. You can even believe that. They've won it in 2 different years. So the Malcolm Baldrige Award for me helps me understand what organizations do. And I want to look at those other organizations out of our business, because we certainly can learn from benchmarking outside of our industry as much as inside. But what I really want to look at is, what did that Ritz-Carlton do? And one of the fascinating things they did, because if you're a Baldrige winner, you have to share your white paper. You actually have to present at a conference and share with others what is it you do as an organization. So we get that inside look. And if you look on and click on the link, but look at the Malcolm Baldrige or the Baldrige Award website, which again is on Blackboard. You will find all the white papers from all the organizations and who the award winners were for the last 30 years. And in that, you will find the Ritz-Carlton's papers. So I've also linked those in our Blackboard site. And what I want you to do is take a look at them. And your secret task through our videos this week is look at the Malcolm Baldrige Award-winning Ritz-Carlton, see what they did, and answer this question. How many moments of truth did they look at for a convention planner? How many were there, they said, that were either positive, negative, or neutral? So one of the things Ritz-Carlton will say is training, training, training. Like most all I've ever read of the Baldrige winners have said, the importance of training, preparing our workforce to deliver this high quality is critical. They also will talk about the concept of empowerment, which is incredibly important, that we get and we empower the people at the front line, the people who deal with the interaction with the guests directly. We give them the power to take care of our people. We give supervisors the power to take care of employees. We give frontline staff the power to take care of the guests when they come to us, and we get to deliver service. So there are a couple of things in that secret case analysis that's not so secret, but you got to find it. One is the concept of moments of truth. So I want you to tell me how many moments of truth the Ritz-Carlton analyzed and said a meeting planner went through in planning and delivering or going to a convention that they had planned. How many times did they interact with the Ritz? And then secondly, how much did they empower their employees with? Because they gave them a boundary of how much financially they could make a decision on behalf of the organization. So moments of truth, incredibly important. And I think what you'll find is there are a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of moments of truth that we interact with guests. And the better we break down and analyze those, the better we understand all of those points that we can either be positive, negative, or neutral. And that collective reflection of a guest is how they leave our experience and reflect back and decide how the quality was. So we want those encounters to be positive. And if we don't understand that there are that many and that they infiltrate the entire organization, we will lose opportunities to deliver quality. So look at the Ritz-Carlton case study from the Baldrige Award-winning. The links are on Blackboard. But fascinating to me, the concept of moments of truth. And have your organization or have you ever been taught or looked at those many moments of service delivery? Whether it's human or not human, it is influenced by human as we look at that. So empowered staff, usually one of three reasons that doesn't work. We might say we give our frontline the power to make decisions, but if I'm a supervisor and I slap your hand the minute you make a decision, empowerment is squelched in an organization. And we've seen that happen in our business time and time again. Good concept, try to deliver it. Supervisory staff is not ready to do it. Owner thinks it's a great idea. Upper level management thinks it's a great idea. Employees think it's a great idea, but the people in the middle aren't trained and ready to let go of that power and realize that it's more powerful to give it to the people than it is to keep it and have to go up the food chain to get something answered kind of idea. So empowered staff. The other thing is the employee wasn't ready for that power. I might say to my employees, you are empowered. You can do anything on behalf of guest service. And they go, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what to do. So what we know about empowerment is you have to train your staff to be ready to handle the power. If you want employees to handle guest encounters that may be more difficult, resolving a difficult situation, or again, delivering a service, overhearing something and being proactive in our hospitality to guests to make sure we take care of them or employees. If you want us to do that, then we have to be trained and know how to handle that. So again, the Ritz gave a very specific example, and it's fun because I had always heard that from students and professionals I knew who worked for the Ritz, but it is clearly written in their white paper that they are given a whole bunch of money a day on behalf of guest service, and every employee knows their boundary related to it. It wasn't like really you could do anything on behalf of guest service. You can't give away the hotel, you can't give away this restaurant, but you can have a very generous boundary which really says something important. So put that and those statements back into our discussion board as your secret reveal in these videos. I know you're listening. I know you're listening because you couldn't hear the last one, so now I know you're listening. And let me know what you think. So this power of quality has lots of dimensions, lots of elements, and all we're trying to do is 3 words: exceed guests' expectation. The guest term, again, being very broad. But we know in Chapter 2, this introduction of where are we moving from a product to a service to an experience to what, we know that to move to that next what, we have to think of the experience as not just when they arrive and not just part of the destination, but part of a very broad spectrum of experiences. I think this is one of, if not the most powerful concept operationally in this whole discussion we're having this whole semester, and that's the concept of the 5 phases of an experience. It is not just about the destination. It's about when people think about us really early on, and it's about now when they're home thinking about us again. And we want all of those encounters along the way to be positive moments of truth. So this theory helps explain and gives us a way to improve that. I'll spend a great deal of time, so sorry, even though it's a small few pages in the textbook, but I want to give you a lot of examples, and I really want you to think about it differently, because we don't in our industry think about really anything other than when they get here, how do we treat them, and then we get them out of here and we're on to the next ones that come in. So we have to think about this experience very broadly if indeed we want to be exceptional and deliver a really strong why. I'm always reminded that it is about all these tiny little moments of truth. And if you have a second, this is just about a large event that was going on in Colorado just recently. And as I read the newspaper or industry publications, it's time and time again, I'm reminded that you could have 8 million things right about delivering what we deliver, but then one thing can really be that tipping point. And in this case, these thousands of people who went into Crested Butte couldn't get out of Crested Butte. It was a transportation issue of getting people flights and time back out of the area. And so, I'll bring these to you time and time again, these examples, but it's shocking to me, again, that we have to be service providers that look at every little attention to detail if indeed we want to be quality driven and, again, do something uniquely different. That's why it's so hard. It's an easy concept. You and I know about it. We understand it. It's the largest area you rated on any of the topics that you know it. Okay, we know it, but can we deliver it? The barriers to great service are multifaceted, lots of work. This is a lifelong challenge. It's fascinating to me because in concept it's so easy. In delivery it takes a lot of work. So when we return, the chapter, the follow-up PowerPoint to this is a very long, but I hope quality discussion about the stages of this experience that we deliver and getting and moving to 2020. So think about quality, think about the challenges of quality, think about the distinctions, those moments of truth. Think about how you think about it, how you deliver it, how your organizations that you've worked with or for do that as well. So come back, powerful chapter, the base of all great marketing. Don't ever forget it, is the way we deliver what it is we deliver. Have a great day.